"I will have to ask you to move away from the flag, sir." As his hand hovered inches from the star and stripe draped coffin, the airport manager's voice broke through the tension, forceful but uncertain. Without flinching, the Marine he kept his gloved hand firmly on the flag, his eyes straight, and he was silent. Mid-step, the passengers had paused. Talk ceased to exist. I shouted, "Step back, you're not allowed to handle the cargo." As the air felt heavier than the weight of the entire planet, and a battle was being fought in silence. At Gate 42B, not with bullets, but with dignity. The manager said it more loudly and motioned for security to come closer. But he didn't comprehend. He was still unable to respond. At last, the Marine spoke in a calm, measured manner as if he had practiced it all his life. "Respectfully, sir, this isn't cargo. It's a Marine, and I won't abandon him." A TSA official came forward. "Look, we have procedures. Operations are being delayed by you." Slowly, the Marine turned his head and met the man's gaze. "Protocols exist, and then there is honor." The American flag was properly spread across the coffin behind him. No folds that are out of position or wrinkled below it. 23-year-old Corporal Jake Morrison was killed in battle. He had never returned home by himself. Jake was his, not just another soldier. Soldier, the person he instructed, the person with whom he shared a laugh. He was carrying him one final time. The one he carried over the Afghan hills after Jake twisted his ankle while on patrol. He had been designated as the escort by the Marine Corps, a sacred obligation from the time the casket departed the aircraft until it was given to the family. There were no justifications, no disruptions, and no relinquishment. However, they were lagging behind luggage that needed to be moved at this airport and didn't care. Gates had to be cleared. The manager said, obviously irritated, "What was one more box to push along the track, sir? This is not a funeral home. Ceremonies are not held here. Either move out of the way or we'll take you away." He could have warned them about the code, the ancient honor of protecting the fallen, the quiet, the salute, and the watch, but he was anchored there by something deeper. Recollections came flooding back. Jake discussing his house, his mother's lemon pie, his father's fishing excursions. He had missed his sister's graduation. Jake used to joke that it was his soul's GPS by humming country roads after every expedition. There was no delivery here. It was a farewell, and he was the only thing keeping it from being forgotten. At that moment, a tiny voice broke through the growing tension. "He's touching the flag, but why?" Mommy, a 6-year-old girl, had wandered up beside the crowd holding a small teddy bear. Her mom whispered to her, but the Marine nodded softly as he looked down. The manager appeared shaken because he was making sure someone got home. The security personnel hesitated. It seemed as though the weight of sacrifice was now becoming apparent. The Marine's speech was hardly audible above a whisper as he bowed slightly. "This man sacrificed everything. This flag is a pledge, not a decoration." With that, he started to move slowly and steadily. He kept his hand on the coffin. People started to stand as he led the honor march through the terminal, not because the airport allowed it, but rather because duty demanded it. Hats were removed, and hands crossed hearts. A wheelchair-bound veteran saluted. Tears poured down the cheeks. Nobody made a move. Phones did not come out. For show, but for remembering, the national anthem was gently sung by someone. Others joined. And time seemed to stop in the middle of a busy airport. The Marine's gloves were drenched in perspiration by the time they arrived at the gate where the family was waiting. His throat burned and his back ached, but he persisted. As soon as the mother saw the coffin, she broke down in sobs. The father gave a shaky salute. Smiling, the sister said, "Welcome home, Jake." Then and only then did he slowly release the flag, folding it into a perfect triangle, the Marine said as he stood silently. He dropped to his knees and put it in the mother's hands. He remarked, "He didn't die alone. He was recognized and liked, And when he stood up, all of the passengers watched in silence. The airport manager, red-eyed and scared, moved up and said, "I don't understand," in a whisper. The Marine nodded once. "You do now." Slow, respectful applause echoed down the terminal walls as a chorus of awareness. Because America recall that very moment. If this tale resonated with you, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a karma remark below.